These are the books on my TBR backlist that I am low-key embarrassed that I have not read yet. Starting off with the first one is Malazan Book of the Fallen. I've not read this, and I'll go ahead and add Name of the Wind. These two are books that are heavily recommended by the BookTube bros, and I have to say a lot of the recommendations from the BookTube bros I've not liked. So I'm like just a little bit cautious about picking up these books and being crazy about these books because of who they're recommended by. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I have not read them, because I have had some epic fails with the BookTube bros, namely freaking Joe Abercrombie, the original trilogy, the First Law trilogy. It was so bad to me, y'all. So bad. Also, John Glenn, not a fan at all, which is annoying because I own his books. And also Evan Winters. I wanted to like his book much more than I did, especially since he's a Black author, but you know, I just didn't really enjoy those. But in terms of the Book Talk Bros, oh, also Jade City. I didn't really enjoy Jade City. So, so I'm tentative, like it's on my backlist. I want to at least read the first book, even though it's coming from the Book Talk Bro recommendations. Maybe I like it, maybe I won't, but we'll see. So Malazan and Name of the Wind. The Lord of the Rings. So I have to read this because I'm a fantasy reader, regardless if I like it or not. You can't be a fantasy reader and not read the Father of Fantasy. So yeah, this is one that I'm actually a little bit embarrassed that I haven't read yet. I do have it on the shelf. I mean, it's right there. So yeah, I have to read them. This year it will happen. At some point it will happen. The Stormlight Archive. So I've read the first 3 books, but I've not finished it because I read one of the standalones and I got so put off Brandon Sanderson. So yeah, but I think it's been enough time that I can pick up another Brandon Sanderson book and be okay and go ahead and finish the Stormlight Archive. I need to read Rhythm of War and finish those, so they are on the TBR backlog. The Wolfsong series, I read book 1, so I'm proud of that. I loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I need to finish reading the rest of the books, so I'm definitely going to do that. TJ Klune, I love TJ Klune. He's one of my favorite authors. I've not read Wicked, and I feel like I'm not the only one that hasn't read Wicked, but after the popularity of the movie last year, I personally went to the movies twice, maybe 3 times to go and see this movie, and I absolutely loved it. So it is based on a book, so I want to go ahead and pick up the actual source material and read it before the next book comes out. So I have like 2.5-ish months to go ahead and handle up on that. But Wicked, and if you have not read that, then maybe you should too. The Greenbone Saga, even though I didn't love Jade City, I do want to actually finish the saga to have a real full opinion, because maybe I like book 2 more, maybe I like book 3. But yeah, book 1, there wasn't enough fantastical elements in it for me to really love it as a fantasy series. And now that I know that, going into the rest of the series, I can have my expectations in a certain place and maybe I can enjoy it for what it is. Mistborn, I've not read Mistborn, but I feel like I need to finish reading the Stormlight Archive because that's where I started. And yeah, once I finish that, then I'll read Mistborn and hopefully I won't be disappointed. The Cruel Shifterverse. So I read the original trilogy in the Cruel Shifterverse, absolutely loved it. I just need to read the next 3 books, which are told from another person's perspective, who I liked from books 1, 2, and 3, but there were side characters, so I have to get into that. But you know what? The Ashes of Thesmar is so much better than the Legends of Thesmar, so maybe a side character's point of view could be exactly what I need. It could be something really, really positive, or it could be a train wreck, but yeah, let's see how we feel about that. The All Souls trilogy. So one of my favorite series of all times is A Discovery of Witches. The Alsos trilogy, I read book 1 and I was so disappointed. I was so completely disappointed and devastated. I like bought 4 copies of this book to like give to friends as Christmas gifts because I love the series so much, in the hopes that we could read it together. And I ended up reading the book before everybody else because I read fast apparently. And I was like, it's okay if y'all don't read that one. It's all right. Y'all don't have to read that one. I do want to finish the series because the show is based on something. So I want to finish the series because maybe it will get better in terms of the writing as the series goes on. The Red Rising saga. So I only have one book that I haven't read, and that's Lightbringer. Red God hasn't even been released yet. So I think Pierce Brown said something about potentially releasing it in 2026. So there's not really a rush for me to read Lightbringer, even though I am going to read it because I love the series. But yeah, that's on the backlog. I want to finish reading Percy Jackson. So I read the original 3 books, but I haven't read the rest of the series, and I love the show. So I want to read the rest of the series just in preparation for what I'm seeing on the show, to have like an idea of everything and see everything that's going on. I love reading the books before watching the show, y'all. So that is something that I do fully intend to do. The Hunger Games. So I've never read The Hunger Games. I can't really say I'm not into like dystopian type writing. I just haven't read a lot of it or been exposed to a lot of it. So yeah, I want to get into that. I want to get into all of the good tea. So The Hunger Games is definitely something that I want to read because I want to read the 2 books that came out last year and this year. So I want to get into that because everybody's read it and reading it and loving it, and nobody's giving it less than 5 stars, even one of the books. So I really, really want to get into that and be a part of the club to be social. I have the books in the Broken Earth saga. I've just not read them just yet. And I need to go ahead and pick up N.K. Jemisin because I'm so interested. I hear that it's sapphic, fantasy romance. The Book Talk bros love this, but also the Book Talk girlies love this too. So I have a little bit more hope, you know, when the women folk like it as well as the men folk, then I have a little bit more hope. But I own them and I want to read them. I'm supposed to actually buddy read that this month with one of my friends. And the last book that I want to read, which I'm really, really embarrassed about this, but it's the Farseer trilogy. So I've read the first book. I really enjoyed it. I rated it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed the magic system and the storyline, and also the fact that I really don't know anything at this point. So I will have a good old time reading the Farseer trilogy. And if I like the Farseer trilogy, then I'll continue on with the ships and the dragons and then all of it. I think it's 16 books in total or something like that. But I enjoy Robin Hobb's writing and I can't wait to continue on reading from her. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Ciao.